So good morning. I am calling to order the Washington County Chamber of Commerce March General Meeting. You have received our minutes from last month's meeting, and do we have a motion to accept, or do any of you need another minute to take a look at those?
This is Rachel from Extension. I move to accept the minutes.
Thank you, Rachel. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, John. All righty. So we're going to move right along. We actually had a member that joined us a little bit ago and haven't had a chance to introduce them yet, but E.S. Leonard Contracting is a new member, and they specialize in basement waterproofing, stormwater mitigation, foundation repair. They install sump pumps, drain tile, French drains, and even grade and extend downspouts. Their foundation repair extends into foundation crack ejections and carbon fiber applications, which all carry transferable lifetime warranties. They pride themselves in old-fashioned quality workmanship. So welcome to the Chamber, E.S. Leonard Contracting, LLC. I'd also like to remind everyone that the Chamber Scholarship deadline is Friday, April 16th. We made some changes this year, so now instead of awarding 2 scholarships, one academic and one technical, where we draw from a pool of all the high school applicants in our county, this year each high school in our district will receive a $750 scholarship. So Valley, Kingston, Potosi, please remind your students to submit their applications, because each one of them, each school will be eligible to have a student receive that. If we do not have any applicants from your school, then that money will just be held over until next year. So again, that deadline is Friday, April 16th. March is also the time of the year for nominations, or to get started in that process anyway. We have a nominating committee that's seeking volunteers for next year's board of directors. If you know someone, or if you yourself are interested in joining the Washington County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, contact Stephen Johnson. You can reach him at Unico Bank. If you need that number, you can always reach out to us at info@washcomochamber.com. And last, under our new member board announcements, we have had a donation request from the Potosi Softball Boosters. I will be sending out an email either tomorrow or Monday to request a membership vote on their donation request. And so next, I'm going to have Jula give us a short little executive director's report. And again, Jula Bayless is our new executive director, and welcome, Jula.
Thanks, Jane. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to, aside from the learning process that I've been going through for about a little over a month now, one of the things I've been trying to focus on is bringing the membership back to the community and the chamber back together again, with promoting a lot of things on Facebook so that people know, what's going on with a lot of the businesses, and sending a lot of invites to try and make people more aware of what the chamber is doing. I make everything a little better on that. Ordering a lot of the new materials for the informational requests that I've been getting. Because of COVID, we have some outdated materials, so I've been working really hard on getting more updated information for that. Catching up, there were several donations from 2020 from the chamber, so I've been able to get out to the community and deliver those. It's been a great response. People have been very kind to me, and it's a way to find out what people are, what businesses are wanting to see us do. I have 11 delivered so far, with about 6 more to go. And, also, I hope to start reactivating the committees a little bit, and things are a little out of sorts with that because of COVID and not being able to do a lot of that type of stuff. So that's really about it. Be sure to check our Facebook page at 8 p.m. tonight. The question will be posted for today's meeting. And, the first person to comment with the correct answer will win the door prize, donated by the Wishing Well Washington County Memorial Hospital's gift shop. So thank you very much for that donation. Are there any questions? we will move on up to the upcoming events.
Thanks, Jula. I won't list all these, but as you know, we do 3 morning interviews across the month with our radio spots. Thank you so much for those. And our next general meeting will be Thursday, April 22nd at 11 a.m. So next we're going to be moving on to our guest speaker. Amber Coleman is the Public Information Officer for the Washington County Emergency Operations, actually Washington County COVID-19 Emergency Operations. Amber works for Washington County Memorial Hospital. I know you've seen her out and about the community a lot. We're really excited. She is going to be giving us updates, and that is a huge collaboration of different organizations in the county. So to make it a little simpler for us, Amber has agreed to share updates from all of them. So we'll be turning it over to her. She has a presentation for us, so be ready.
So, hi everybody. So glad to see everybody again. Hi TR. Hi Alex. I've been seeing everybody. I'm kind of wondering why Jula and Janie's video's not on. I didn't want to call you guys out on it, but kind of curious. Okay, am I the host now?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna share my screen and let's just hope that technology cooperates. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay, so that's absolutely right, Janie. We have a huge collaborative effort going on, and so we wanted to share with you several COVID updates, actually. First and foremost, I wanted to share this link with you, and I think we'll be able to get those out to the members, these hyperlinks out to the members after today's call, so that you guys could always go to this link right here and look at where we are at in our current phase 1B tier 2. If you go to this link, these activation sections are actually live and interactive. So you can click here on the definitions of what tier we're currently in. Just something to kind of note is that all of our tiers are expected to be open by April 9th, which means anybody who wants to receive a vaccine will be eligible to receive a vaccine starting April the 9th. So we'll keep going here. A lot of our challenges around these vaccines have been around ordering them and then tracking them, getting them in for their second doses, and then of course reporting to the state. So everything that I'm going to provide to you today are our vaccine numbers as of March 15th. And that's basically just because of where the state is on tracking that data. So it's pretty recent data, but it's not up to the minute data. So again, thank you to all of our stakeholders for sharing this information with me. Great Minds Health Center, as of 3/15, has vaccinated 730 individuals, and their plans are to get 500 more by the end of March. And this is the link that you can go to on Great Minds Health Center to actually pre-register if you're interested in receiving the vaccine. And then Washington County Health Department, which is our largest vaccinator in Washington County, as of 3/15, we were reporting 1,135 of the first doses, and then 4,319 of the second doses. And again, here is the way to register for the Washington County Health Department vaccine. One thing that we wanted to mention on today's call is that these figures do not represent any vaccines that were given to residents outside of Washington County, which means that there's a much larger amount of people getting vaccinated coming through our county. At that first mass vaccination clinic, I believe, if I remember correctly, the statistics were, I'm getting some feedback. Am I okay? The statistics were that about 40% of those vaccinated at that first clinic were from outside of Washington County. So let's keep on moving. Pharmex Pharmacy has given 1,193 total doses as of March 15th, and they have about 500 of those that have received both doses, so fully vaccinated. And then again, here's the link to go register at Pharmax for the vaccine. And then last but not least, Walmart here in Potosi is also a vaccinator, and they have 557 first doses with a plan to vaccinate 200 per week. And then here's how you go to register for Walmart's vaccine. Those figures, of course, do not include the mass vaccination clinic that we held yesterday at the Washington County Ambulance District. And I think our goal yesterday was to get another 800 their first doses. And then I also want to give a shout out to our Washington County Ambulance District. During this vaccination process, they've worked really closely with the health department to make sure that any of our homebound residents actually get home visits and receive the vaccine that way. So I don't know if you all are familiar with the way that the vaccine works. The majority of what we've received is Moderna, and we only receive what they send us. And so with Moderna, after you open a vial, you have 6 hours to use all 10 doses in that vial. So that's a mass coordination effort between the health department and all of the key stakeholders to make sure that we don't waste a single dose. And I know you guys have probably seen in the news where some other vaccination clinics have, unfortunately, at the end of the day, had to dispose of doses. We are very, very proud to say that we have not had to dispose of any single dose because of those coordination efforts. So great big kudos out to our health department and other stakeholders for working together to make sure not one single dose is wasted. I also wanted to share with you guys our current statistics, and this is of March 18th. So currently we have 6 active cases of COVID. So you guys are all seeing this in the news and know that those cases are definitely down, and we want them to continue to trend down. We want to continue to practice social distancing and masking where appropriate. And we want to definitely keep an eye on those variants as we get more and more people vaccinated. And then the deaths as verified for our county by the Department of Health and Human Services is 48 as of March 18th. And now I'm going to move on to my most favorite slide. So when Jamie was talking about the collaboration that's occurred, I've got to tell you that this has been an extremely rewarding process, this vaccination process, to see the amount of stakeholders in our community who have come together to make this happen. The health department, the ambulance district, the hospital, Great Minds Health Center, the courthouse, the police department. We've used Mineral Area College nursing students. Ameren has been so gracious in letting us use their parking lot for staffing. Sweet Memories has provided food. Independent Journal has provided excellent news coverage. The State Highway Patrol. And if I'm leaving anybody out, I apologize. We have worked hard to make sure we're getting all of the thank yous out. And then just the sheer amount of people who have donated items and food and refreshments and drinks. The commissioners and the IDA worked together to make sure that the temporary road was put in place over in the industrial park so that we didn't have any traffic backup. The volunteers that have showed up at each and every one of these vaccination clinics. And these are long, hard days for these folks because they're on their feet constantly in those ambulance bays. And I don't know if you guys were following it all, but we had some really challenging weather. We had frigid temperatures, and we had snow, and we had ice, and we had rain. And these volunteers have just showed up and just made this happen for our community and for our state. And we're so, so proud. Potosi Southern Baptist Church provided food. Kim and Tommy Knott provided food. LaRue Water, thank you so much. And then Mercil's Meat Market also provided food to our volunteers and the staff working those vaccination clinics. So thank you guys so much for letting me come today and talk to you. And if it's okay with you, Janie, I'll just open it up now for questions.
Yes, that's great.
Oh, I know there's questions. I didn't do that good of a job.
Remember, pretty much everyone is muted, so if you want to ask a question, be sure to unmute yourself. And I will just add about the weather that when I got my vaccine shot, the first time it was snowing like crazy, and the second time it was pouring down rain.
Yeah.
Felt so bad for our, you know, right when you drive in, of course, we have, I believe those were Potosi police officers, and they were just all bundled up because it's just, I mean, pouring down rain.
Yeah. Yeah, and the National Guard, I think that maybe is one. Oh no, they are on there. So yeah, that's another, the National Guard and the help that they provided to us. It's just we are very blessed in our county and our community and have such great people working together to make this run as smoothly as it did and continues to do. We're going to continue this until every single person who wishes to receive a vaccine receives one. Okay, you ready for me to give it back over to you, Janie and Judy?
I guess so. Thank you so much, Amber, for that update. We really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Okay, do you have it back?
We do. There we go. So moving right along, I actually, I should have an item between guest speaker and door prize on our agenda. I wanted to make a spot for any member announcements. And thank you. It's nice to see so many of you joined with us today. But if any of you have something that you'd like to share about your organization, now is the time. And I do, like, if he doesn't volunteer to, I would like to welcome T.R. Dudley, who is new with the Great Minds Health Center. He has a new role there. It's really great to see him. Let's see. Hi. And Stacy, you had someone with you, a new employee at the hospital. Did you want to introduce her?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, so this is Brandy Bartlemy. She's with Fields of Hope and is a longtime friend of mine who recently moved to the area for permanent, bought a house and brought this nonprofit organization. It's newly founded, I think officially started 2020, and then your first resident. Why don't you go ahead and give the overview?
Thank you. Actually, Fields of Hope has been a nonprofit since 2010, and we've just recently moved to the area and expanded our services to foster families. We've worked with foster families for 10 years, but we're moving now towards young adults, and we're providing tiny homes and low-income housing for kids that are aging out of foster care. So 18 and up kiddos that were never adopted that basically will end up with no homes or low income needs. So we do have one kiddo that's moving in this weekend, and we are officially ready to truly launch. We've got 3 cabins on Vilma Road that we've been developing for a year now, and we're Airbnb-ing those cabins to pay them off and get them stable and ready for kiddos to be able to rent them for low income. So
I've got a question. What is your service area?
So Washington County, Jefferson County, we have, I think so our girl, I don't really know the scenario, but she's on the caseload in Farmington. So what's the county in
Francis.
St. Francis.
Yeah, it'll be this area, and I know there's a name for this area, but
Okay. I didn't know if you covered like the certain judicial area where the foster kids are, or
you know,
just kind of picked where they came from.
yeah, we're not licensed as foster services technically, so but we're working our way into a independent living situation. So we're acting as landlords basically for kiddos that are able to step out on their own. And we want to provide services for them along this journey to partnerships, jobs, life skills, everything, counseling potentially. So we have those services that we're pursuing for them, but at the moment, as an independent living facility, basically, these kiddos can choose what services they accept or don't accept.
So where do your referrals come from? How do you find out about these kids?
Our current placement was referred through the Royals. It's a children's division department from Jefferson County.
Okay.
So we'll receive, we're not ready to take a bunch of kids in right now. We're kind of stepping into this with this young lady and developing the program kind of as we go. So we'll hope to be ready to receive more kiddos within the next year. So this summer, we're going to do foster family camp retreats on the land. It's 12 acres and we've got a camper and there's tent camping. And so we'll still continue to serve the foster family with the land, but we're housing one kid right now.
I was just curious because, you know, there's a group home just on the other side of the Washington County line here. And, you know, those kids, I don't know what happens to them by the time they age out of the group home. Where do they go? So I'm curious where your referrals came from.
They're under DYS custody, though. They're not necessarily foster kids. Those are students that are placed in Division of Youth Services. It's a different placement.
Right. But they still get to be 18, and then where do they go?
Well, because their situation is totally different. Being a foster parent and dealing with that, I can tell you know, like with Amandre, now we adopted him, but he would have aged out and all services would have ended, which is why there's organizations like this. DYS, you could stay in there until you're up to 21 because you're typically in there because of
Behavior.
Hidden charges or something like that. So theirs is completely different. They have a placement system for those kids.
Well, this has been extremely educational. And I know Alex and his wife are great foster parents. My parents were foster parents, and kudos to you for addressing a really great need in most communities, I would say. If you'd like to send us some information on how we can help you, like if you need volunteers, donations, or just whatever your needs might be at this time, please do, and we'll be sure to get it in our newsletter. But welcome to the area. Thank you so much for what you do.
I appreciate that.
A little earlier, I mentioned that you could reach out to Stephen for nominating committee. He posted it. If you don't notice, there's little chats down there that you can put information. So TR has posted his new contact information. If you wanted to reach out about nominating a board member or suggesting someone, you can reach Stephen at Unico Bank, and that number is 438-5421. And so if anyone else had anything else to share, they can do. And as Amber mentioned in her presentation, we'll try to get those links and things that she shared in the PowerPoint out to you as well. So do we have any other member announcements?
Janie, I just want to touch real quick. I think I did last month, but our new community loan center, small dollar consumer loan program, we've got 3, maybe 4 employers, and we're looking for more. So if you're not familiar with it, it gives employees or participating employers the option of taking out a small dollar consumer loan through Seeds, and then it's paid back through payroll deduction, which is where the employer comes in. The idea is that it provides them an opportunity to avoid predatory lending and payday lending, title loans. Those can end up being about 485% interest by the time it's all paid back. So we're looking at employers of all sizes. So that could be, school district, hospitals, municipalities. It could be a mom and pop shop that just has 3 or 4 employees. There's no size limit. And it's a great program to add to your existing employee benefit package. If you would like more information, that's just a little brief synopsis of how it works, but it's no cost to the employer outside of employment verification and setting up the payroll deductions. The employer is not responsible for the loans whatsoever. We take that on. But like I said, the entire idea is just eliminating those predatory lending practices. And I'm sure we all know someone that's fallen victim to them or have employees that their first stop when their car breaks down or if they need quick cash is to hit the payday lending circuit. So this gives them an opportunity to avoid that.
Yes, it's a vicious cycle that's really difficult to get out of. So this is prevention at its finest. Heather, if you want to send us some information on that too, we can also include that in our weekly newsletter. We'll try to get you some more employers signed on.
Okay, I'll send you something. We're applying for a grant today, and I've done nothing but grant work the last 2 weeks. Kudos to anybody that does grants because they're stressful. So
Yes, they are.
Pulling my hair out today.
All righty. Does anybody else have any announcements?
Hey, Janie, this is Amber again. I actually kind of did want to share with everybody something exciting happening at the hospital. We are in the middle of a construction project at the hospital right now, and we are actually going to be able to add some private patient rooms. So we're very excited. We should be able to finish this construction project up by the end of June. So
That's fast. Great, great. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm Jody with Congressman Jason Smith's office, and I just wanted to let everyone know that our congressional art competition is accepting art from high school age students, and they can be homeschooled, they can be actually in high school, any high school age student, and the deadline for that art to be received is April 9th. So the winner of our district's art competition, their art will be displayed in the US Capitol for an entire year. And last year they weren't able to do this, but hopefully this year they will be able to. The student and a guardian gets their airfare paid for to go to Washington, D.C. and see that art hanging in the Capitol. So it's a really cool experience. And so each district has the opportunity to pick a piece of art. And so ours would just be for the 8th Congressional District, and they would be competing against the other students in our district. So if you know any artists that are high school age, they can contact our Congressman Jason Smith's office in Farmington, and we can get some art from them. So I'm sure that you all have my email address at the chamber, but it is Jody with an I.Williams at mo. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh.
mo.house.gov.
Is it Mo? I'm like, wait a second. Why is it Mo?
No, she
Is
wouldn't
it-
know.
that might be the state.
I'm brain freezing right now. But anyway, so our phone number is 573-756-9755.
But
If
if you
you
want
ever get the chance to go up to Washington, D.C., and when you walk through the tunnel where all this art is displayed, it's an amazing display of art from students all across the nation. I spent probably 2 hours just in that tunnel looking at that art.
It's amazing.
Well worth it. Have you sent that to all the high school administrators so that they know this? Are you, okay, I'll follow up with ours to make sure then.
Yeah, so I actually dropped a packet off at the high school probably about 6 weeks ago. So I think they would have gotten it, but it's good to follow up. Yeah, so that tunnel is amazing. And you can actually go on the Congressman's Facebook page, and there's a link about the art competition, and you can see the tunnel. There is a virtual walkthrough of that. And our art winner last year, her name is Maddie Holt, and she sketched a veteran that is just, it's amazing. So the art is just impressive.
Yes, is this Casey Kelly? Okay, this is Mandy. How are you? Good, good. We haven't called you in a long time, but I wanted to check. We are hosting a car show.
There we go. Sorry about that.
Wait, I want to know where the car show is.
Too late, too late. Well, thank you so much for that. And Jody will try to get their email and phone number out to, we do have parents that subscribe to our newsletter. And so if they haven't heard through the schools, we'll try to hear that mom and dad, because you know, mom and dad like to show off that kid's artwork.
Yes. Well, my email address is jody.williams@mail.house.gov.
All right, good job.
I knew there was an M in there somewhere. I just
I know.
what it was.
It happens. Okay, is that all our member announcements? Does anyone have anything else? Okay, well, I'll move on to our.
Can I throw something out there real quick?
Sure, Alex.
It's that time of year. I know all of our local businesses start getting hit for donations. Make sure it's a legitimate either booster club, or if you've got questions, email me, call one of our administrators, because we always get these, you know, we talked about the lenders, but we talked about these predator fundraising companies that say, oh, we're representing the school and we're raising money for this. Just always, if you don't know the person, don't worry about telling them no for now until I check and talk, because what we find is we get a lot of out-of-state fundraising companies say, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then we have no idea about these people. So if you're not sure, feel free to pick up a phone and call me or email me, or like I say, reach out to one of the building administrators if you're not sure about donations, because this is the time they really start hitting people and they tug at your heartstrings. But if in doubt, please call and check. I'd hate to see, you know, your hard-earned dollars going to out-of-state vendor that gives us nothing.
That is a great public service announcement. Thank you. And you're right. Most of our booster programs, there's just about a booster program for every organization and club. And you're going to know these people. These are people that you go to work with, you go to school with, they're in your community. So there's a very, very simple way to check out their legitimacy. Thanks, Alex. Okay, so our last thing on the agenda is I'm going to be, well, the chamber will be posting a question on our Facebook page at 8 o'clock tonight. That will be something from today's meeting. So you will have had to have watched the meeting either now live and in person, or you could watch it later. We'll be supplying that link. And the first person to comment with a correct answer will win our door prize, which, as we mentioned earlier, is being donated by the Wishing Well, which is Washington County Memorial Hospital's gift shop. And by the way, if you've never been there, it's you don't have to go just to get something for someone that's in the hospital because you forgot to bring them something. They actually have really great, cute, fun stuff. It's a shopping spot just like any other great little store in town. So thank you so much for that donation. We hope you guys all log on with your answers at 8 o'clock tonight. And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn? But before I ask for that motion, I just want to say again, thank you everyone who logged on today and joined us on Zoom. It's so great to see your faces. So now, do we have a motion to adjourn? It's okay to want to say goodbye, guys. It's
Motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, Heather and Stacy, again, thank you very much. And that concludes March's general meeting for the Washington County Chamber of Commerce. We'll see you in April.
Good to see you all.
Everyone.